There have been a lot of theories as to why it is the Indian cricket team lost in such decisive manner to the South African team in the first Super 8 games of the T20 World Cup. Was it down to arrogance? Was it down to overconfidence, over-preparedness, under-preparedness? Well, in the opinion of one former India international, it was down to panic. Yes, panic was the reason why India ended up losing out, and it was linked to a decision that, truth be told, has been debated a lot: the dropping of vice captain Axar Patel for Washington Sundar, a decision that backfired spectacularly, that had people in doubts even prior to the game, but had them definitely for sure convinced that it was the wrong decision after the match was done. So what exactly did Kaif have to say? We'll go over his comments and then debate what it is he said. He said that, look, I was surprised by the call to drop Axar Patel. It showed that we were in panic. They were normal despite losing the final against us. Now, I think he makes an interesting point here. This is pretty much the core of the same South African side that lost the final of the 2024 World Cup to India, and they didn't seem panicked. They stuck to their strengths, kept their side more or less the same as it's been, the same core that they've had. They stuck with that. India, on the other hand, decided to actually break up a part of that core by putting Axar on the bench and bringing in Sundar, a decision that, as he said, backfired spectacularly. But there was another thing which actually led to him voicing a little bit of an interesting opinion, and it came about from the batting position or the batting role of Tilak Varma, something that has been debated a lot in recent times. And whilst he didn't really go overly out of his way to criticize Tilak, he did say that Tilak needs to take a little bit of inspiration from Virat Kohli. How exactly did he say that? Well, he said that, look, Tilak Varma got out early whilst trying to hit. But is that his role within the team? He should play the Virat Kohli role and take the game deep. Now, there's nothing wrong with this advice, especially given the kind of tracks you've gotten in the World Cup. They haven't been the kind of flat, short front, paradise kind of wickets that India were getting in the bilaterals. They've been tougher, and sometimes that sort of a batting approach actually does work well. There's just one small problem, if you ask me, with this advice, is that Tilak has already been playing that role and hasn't been playing it very well. Tilak as a batter is best suited to being aggressive from the get-go and only actually looking to be a little bit defensive or drop his strike rate if the situation so demands it. However, in the World Cup, we've seen that there are times where the situation has required some attack, and he's done exactly the opposite. In this case, it was the opposite. He needed to perhaps consolidate a bit, went for the attack. As such, he's stuck in a no man's land trying to figure out what game is best suited for what circumstance. If you ask me, I'd ask Tilak to simply play his natural game and trust his instincts and say that, listen, my first instinct is going to be to attack. However, if the team's in a situation, then I perhaps slow things down. But that's how I feel. You guys can let me know if you agree or disagree, and also if you agree with what Kaif said. Do you think it was panic that caused India to make a decision that ended up losing the match? Or do you think that this sort of a result was a long time coming, considering the kind of mixed form they'd been showing in the tournament? Let me know that in the comments below, and don't forget, as always, to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook, and stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport.